So yeah, it's something. Is a switch I'm trying to flip on demand, you know.
But Victor Wembanyama last night, 28-13,
Yeah.
with 7 assists,
Yep.
5 blocks.
Victor Wembanyama just outplayed Steph Curry in crunch time. Let that sink in for a second. A rookie in his first game back from injury just schooled a 4-time NBA champion. But here's the crazy part. It wasn't just one play. Wemby dominated the entire fourth quarter, leading a 17-point comeback against the Warriors. We're about to show you how this basketball unicorn did the impossible. Picture this. Wemby's early days in the NBA. He's launching threes like there's no tomorrow, but they're clanking off the rim more often than not. The big man's shooting just 23% from deep in his first 9 games.
You know, you gotta catch the train while it's going. So
It just, I mean, it doesn't move me. But I will tell you, Victor Wembanyama is the real deal. So is Chet Holmgren.
I think what you gotta do in those situations is, you know, play for your teammates and try to fit in.
Yikes! People start whispering, is this 7.4 phenom all hype? Then the Warriors game rolls around. Wemby steps onto the court, and something's different. He starts firing threes again, but this time, it's like he's got a cheat code. The ball's finding nothing but net. Swish after swish after swish. You won't believe this, but Wemby's now hit 20 out of his last 36 three-pointers. That's a blistering 55%.
I did find my rhythm physically because it was a little hard to come back.
But Victor Wembanyama last night, 28-13,
Yeah.
with 7 assists,
Yep.
5 blocks.
But also not doing too much, you know. And this is a balance. It's a balance thing you gotta learn as an NBA player.
It's insane for any player, let alone a giant rookie who was struggling just a few weeks ago. But you know what's even crazier? Coach Pop thinks this is just the beginning. He's got Wemby shooting threes as part of the team's long-term plan. Pop says, "We want him to be able to do everything. We just can't do it all at once." It's like they're unlocking new levels in a video game, and Wemby's the ultimate character. Against the Warriors, Wemby let it fly 13 times from beyond the arc. He drained 4 of them. That's confidence, folks. He's not just taking shots here and there. He's actively seeking them out, changing the game for big men everywhere.
So yeah, it's something. Is a switch I'm trying to flip on demand, you know.
Before, when they talk about the Rookie of the Year situation is over, Wembanyama is going to win Rookie of the Year.
Use a broad variety of weapons, but surprisingly in the fourth quarter, this is when we have to come back to the more simple thing.
Wemby's not settling for being a typical center. He's averaging nearly 3 more three-point attempts per game than guys like Karl Anthony Towns, who's supposed to be the poster boy for stretch fives. This rookie's rewriting the rulebook. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing. Wemby's had to make adjustments. He's focusing on strong catches and quick moves now, not holding the ball too long. It's all part of his learning process in the NBA. Wemby's not just a big man who can shoot.
Yeah, we gotta go back to our basics, and this is what every team does, and this is what they try to do too.
But Wembanyama is something special. There's no doubt about that. This is the soon-to-be Rookie of the Year, without question.
Absolutely.
You know, not holding the ball, but also taking my time, and just taking shots with confidence.
He's changing how we think about basketball. Every game, he's showing us something new, something we've never seen before. And speaking of things we've never seen, let's talk about what he did to poor Steph Curry. We all know David beat Goliath, but what if Goliath was 7'4" tall and could move like a guard? Steph Curry found out the hard way that sometimes the giant wins. And it wasn't even close. Imagine being Steph Curry. You're the greatest shooter ever, used to making defenders look silly. But against Wemby and the Spurs, things got flipped upside down. Curry couldn't find his rhythm all night. It was like watching a magic trick. But instead of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, Wemby made Steph disappear. Wemby didn't just block Curry's shots, he altered the entire game. Every time Curry thought he had an opening, there was Wemby, all 7'4" of him, ready to swat the ball into next week. The Warriors coach, Steve Kerr, couldn't help but be impressed. He said Wemby was amazing, blocking shots, thwarting others, just being a presence in the paint. That's high praise from a guy who's seen it all. But here's the kicker. Curry finished with just 14 points on 16 shots. That's the kind of stat line you'd expect from a bench player, not the greatest shooter of all time. It was only the third time this season Curry scored fewer than 15 points in a game. That almost never happens. And get this, it wasn't just Wemby causing problems. His partner in crime?
To go and where we want Steph to be, how important we want him to be in the future. I wouldn't see it like that. I would see it more like, okay, that's his night. Let's go to him, to any of my teammates. For me, it's a necessity that he takes these kind of shots because we want eventually him to be a menace from everywhere.
A 20-year-old rookie named Stephon Castle. This kid was like Curry's shadow all night. Seriously, he never took his eyes off him. Castle fought over screens, stayed glued to Curry's hip, and didn't give him a second to breathe. Every time Curry tried to lose him with one of his signature quick relocations, Castle was right there, refusing to let him get comfortable. The result, a 40-13 run by the Spurs in the final minutes of the game. You read that right. The young Spurs duo didn't just beat the Warriors, they absolutely demolished them when it mattered most.
Something going on, I could feel it. I think everybody could feel it. He was super locked in. I don't know where that comes from, but it's a good thing that we can trust him like that blindly, in the fourth quarters. And I have a blind trust in him. As I've said many times, he's playing like he's much more experienced than he is.
It was like watching the changing of the guard in real time. But here's the thing, this wasn't a one-time fluke. Wemby's been cooking lately, and this game against the Warriors was just the latest example of his growing dominance. He's not just living up to the hype, he's creating a whole new level of hype that we've never seen before. Wembanyama's not just meeting expectations, he's shattering them. This guy is redefining what we thought was possible in basketball. It's like he's playing a different sport out there.
Currently in, because it's before coming in the league, I never really had 10 assists. Trying to force teams to guard me with more than one player, so mathematically it means one of my guys is open. And
1 minute he's swatting shots like a giant, the next he's draining threes like a guard. And he's just getting started. The NBA's never seen anyone quite like Wemby before. He's not just tall, he's skilled, he's smart, and he's fearless. Veterans like Chris Paul are already taking notice, praising his confidence and unique skill set. It's wild to think that he and Stephon Castle are both rookies. These two could be the foundation of something special in San Antonio. So next time the Spurs are playing, do yourself a favor and tune in. You might just be watching basketball history unfold right before your eyes. Wembanyama's not just changing games, he's changing the entire sport. And trust me, you don't want to miss it.